Hey 8-weekers! Welcome to week 4. I am going to keep the video a little bit short today because we've got some to-the-point stuff to take care of, and then we will get into what the challenge is. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was reasons why you are not losing weight in this group. You guys are super supportive of each other and always make each other feel better and this, that, the other in the group, and that's awesome. But I want to address some of the real reasons why you might not be losing the weight that you want to lose. And I'm focusing obviously on the group of people who is trying to lose weight from this challenge versus just trying to learn or whatever. But it's been such a prevalent conversation, it needed addressing. So there's some science reasons and some personal reasons why you are not losing weight in this challenge, because it has been almost 3 weeks. So it would be very unlikely that at this point, it's 2 days away from 3 weeks or whatever. It would be very unlikely that at this point you would have gained weight in this group, unless it happens to be your time of the month right now. Other than that, there's really no reason for it. So let's talk. Some of the reasons why you might not be losing any weight in this group are that you are under eating. That's obviously the biggest one. You're under eating. You're working out too much. Terrible combination. So there's under eating, which we've discussed at length. There's no more I need to tell you on that. It's not going to work. You're never going to get there. It's not going to happen. So there's, of course, the shock of years and years of under eating and then eating correctly, that your metabolism is adjusting. It's very possible. So if you are chronic under eater, it's very possible. Now, there are some other reasons that are a little bit less, it'll work itself out sort of thing. You guys know I'm very straightforward, so we're going to tell it how it is today. Number one reason is you are not tracking the food the way that you say that you're tracking your food. You're basically lying to yourself. That's a big one. Instead of seeing exactly how many goldfish crackers you ate, you just use whatever's in MyFitnessPal as close enough, instead of counting them. Doing a lot of estimation instead of weighing your food, things like that. Will definitely get in there. Not putting foods on there because you want the ratios to be right, or you want me to say good things to you. That's useless. Doesn't help anyone if you lie on your MyFitnessPal. And that's really common. And sometimes it's purposeful, and sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes you just forget. So you're not tracking your food. It's a big one. You're not planning your meals at a certain time, at a certain, what foods you're going to have. You're just seeing what happens and then putting it in MyFitnessPal and wondering what the hell's going on. If you're having trouble remembering to eat, the best way to do that is to set timers on your phone, just like we do with the water timers, to remind you to eat some food, keep the metabolism going. Third one is I'm not going to count. I'm just going to give you the list. You are possibly not eating until too late in the day. One of the ways that, you guys have seen my sumo wrestler post, one of the ways that sumo wrestlers actually gain weight purposefully to go to the next weight class is by not eating until afternoon, and then having lunch, and then staying relatively inactive until the evening. Which is basically like, let's say you go to work without eating anything, and then you sit at your desk, and then you work out after work. You're basically being a sumo wrestler. It's their entire plan. Working out on an empty stomach is the fourth item. That being a sumo wrestler, they do their workouts without eating first. So they do their workouts in the morning, or they do their workouts late in the evening when there's not food in their system. So those are huge reasons why you should eat early and eat often, because I'm pretty sure none of you guys want to be sumo wrestlers. If that's not why you joined this group, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure we could find you a group for that if that's what you're going for. There's, of course, not being active enough. You have to move your body. You have to. There's no way around it. You need to for digestion. You need to for your mood, everything. You need to move your body. So while this is not a fitness group, it's going to be about that time that we start doing physical activity. It's time to start walking around your building at work on lunch. It's time to start taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It's time to park further away. It's time to stop babying yourself and thinking fitness. It's time. You need to start moving your body. Surgeon General's recommended amount of moderate to intense physical activity in a day is 30 minutes. That's just to prevent heart disease and maintain your weight. If you're trying to lose, you have to kick that up, right? Then, of course, you need to account for that activity in your MyFitnessPal or whatever tracking you're doing. That leads me to the next one, overestimating how many calories you burn when you work out. If you have an actual tracking device like a Fitbit or a BodyBug, Body Media, a heart rate monitor, etc., they will give you an actual amount of calories, and it's almost always a little bit less than what MyFitnessPal has in there. It's a lot of those are averages based on height and weight of an average person, how that looks like, and it's just not the case. So inaccurate, overestimation of your tracking of your workout calories. They're probably a little bit incorrect. So that's something that's really, really big, really huge that you should look into. You get lazy with your tracking and you track it a day or two here. So inconsistency is what I'll call that. Track it a day or two here, but then don't track it, but then track again. Or you don't track on the worst days. You don't track on your free days. There's no way to know the real damage you're doing there. You gotta track all the time for you to look back and go, oh, okay. Because we know that there's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. And by eating clean, there's no reason you haven't removed 500 calories from your diet. It's almost impossible. Unless you are turning your metabolism on. But you're going to have a deficit of 500 calories if you're eating clean. Even if you're eating 6 times a day, you will have a deficit. So it's impossible that you could go 3 weeks and not at least have lost 3 pounds, right? Maybe that first pound with some water, or that first week with some adjusting time, so maybe 2 pounds. It's impossible that if you're 110% right on with your tracking and you're eating clean, that you would be in a situation other than weight loss. The biggest one, another one that's really, really big is stress. Stress is one of those things that people don't even realize the effect that it has on their body or recognize what that looks like. So there is a hormone, a chemical in your body called cortisol. And cortisol is something that actually is like a panic chemical. And it stores fat, especially in the midsection, stomach area on women. That is where all of your stress fat goes. So whether you have obvious stress, like a boss you hate, or 3 triplets, obvious stress, or unobvious stress, like you kind of might be in a relationship that you're not totally sure on, but you don't really want to address it yet. Or, I really need to run my credit report because it's been a year, and I'm pretty sure there's some stuff on there I don't want to see, but I'll do it later. These little looming, nagging stresses, right? Regardless, your body understands stress. In addition, if you work out too much, miss whoever posted about working out for 3 hours, the cortisol in your body shoots to the roof because it's freaking out. Like, so much activity. That's why moderate, consistent exercise is best for weight loss. While conditioning, strong athletic conditioning, can be done at a very intense pace, and you'll be fine. But either way, all these different stress bits that come increase the cortisol level in your body, which holds on to more fat. Your body's storing all of the fat, like, as much as it can. So you have to find some ways to de-stress. And the best ways to reduce the cortisol level in your body, so will release that fat, especially from that middle area, is to get 7 hours of sleep, no more, no less. If you can, if that's possible for you. Anything more makes you lethargic. Anything less is not enough. The 8 hours of sleep thing is a myth. You can Google, like, optimum number of hours of sleep for weight loss. It's in all the personal training books. 7 hours, like, to the dot, to the like, exact moment. Um, and incorporate daily outside. Even if you live in the snow, take your butt out in the snow. Get outside. The way the UV light, even through the clouds, affects us, the way the air affects us, the way the moving of walking requires us to move all of our body at once, um, and really feel all of that coming together. That is huge for a nice flat stomach. Like, walking will help with that a lot and really calm you down. Yoga, stretching, Pilates, do things of those nature. If you do have a workout schedule, things of those nature, you understand. If you have an intense workout schedule, there is no way you can keep that up unless you include some sort of flexibility and relaxation training. And that's why every Beachbody program, every single one, comes with a program specifically for, recovery style day. Every single one. It's science. It's absolutely required. It's like relaxation for your neurological system and everything. It's really important for you. And then, I mean, this is obviously your guys' life, right? You can do what you want. But it might be time to evaluate what you're doing with your life. Are you in an incredibly stressful situation that, let's be real, you can get out of? You can get out of that relationship. You can quit your job. People have a lot of resistance to that, and they freak out, and they say, oh, well, the economy and this, that, the other. I'm like, yeah, well, then be overweight. Like, you have control over all these aspects of your life, so decide which is more important to you, and figure something out. If if it's finances, you know what? Take some control. Run the credit report. Go get the Total Money Makeover from Dave Ramsey. Do something about it, because you will not lose the weight that you want to lose until you're ready to lose it off your brain, the mental side, the biggest part. So that one also, in addition, sorry, so I just walked in, this very distracting. Maybe you still have food around that you shouldn't have around. And you're acting like it's not a big deal because you don't want to deprive your significant other. You don't want to deprive your kids as if somehow taking away Oreo cookies is going to give them a bad childhood. So I'm going to be the one to say it because I'm always the one to tell you guys everything that you don't want to hear. But you need to not put your crap on your kids. If you have a weird emotional attachment to cookies, that's your problem. Don't give it to them. That's not acceptable. If for you, holidays are all about all the cookies and the candies, that's your emotional attachment to your junk food. It is nothing more than what you've made up in your head, and now you're passing it on to your kids. If you do not give them candy at Easter, you have not murdered the Easter bunny. You've potentially saved them from diabetes when they're older, from being in this group with me. Well, not me, hopefully by then, but So just knock it off. Reality check yourself for a little bit. Stop putting your emotional attachments to foods and situations on your children, because all you're doing is loading them up with the same problems that you have, and that's not fair at all. My computer is froze. Is it okay? I wonder if you guys can see that video. Anyway, it froze. So I mean, you guys, really, you can have Christmas without candy. You can, because what are the holidays about? What is any holiday about in any religion, in any culture? It's about family and celebration and possibly a heritage or a tradition of some kind. It doesn't have to be food. You don't have to do that. There are ways to replace it with healthy traditions. Absolutely ways to do that. So it's very possible that you are doing well, it's not their fault, I'm on a diet, and I swear to God, if I hear that one more time, oh, you guys don't even know. What, you're punishing them by fueling their bodies with incredibly nutritious food that's going to help them grow, sleep better, get better grades, be happier children. Not a punishment. It's the best service you can do for them. So it's time to fight the fight. It's time. It's time to actually purge the pantry. And if you have a significant other, you know what? Let them throw a fit. Let them. Because that is, your children's future health is not less important than their attitude problem. Tell them to get over it. Tell them they can eat whatever the hell they want before they walk in that door. But in your house, it's a healthy house. Because you care about them, and you care about your kids, and you care about yourself, and you respect yourself to say, no, eat in your car. I have a lot of wives whose husbands keep cookies in their trunk of their car. That is just fine. He's a grown man. He's a grown man, and you have to respect that. But you know what? He has to respect you as well. You can eat it in the car. Can't tell him what to eat, but you sure can handle your own house. So that is a big one, having crappy food in the house, because you're probably grazing and not thinking too much out of it. Or when you're cooking their food, you take a bite and think about it, right? And it's giving you a bad mental experience around the food, and that's not fair. Because you're sitting there all frustrated. I'm going to close this because this keeps freezing. It's making me nuts. I hope that doesn't show up in the video. You guys will have to tell me. Alright, kids. Obviously, something's taking up too much energy. The computer. One second, guys. Okay. Back to what we were doing before. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Stop freezing. Well, okay. Regardless. And then, of course, so that's, you have crappy food around and you're still doing it. One of the really common ones, you're binging. And you think that we don't know. We do. Well, I do. Yeah, it counts even if no one sees you eat it. Even if you eat it in your car on the way home, or you hide the candy in the closet from your kids, it all counts. It all counts. It's time to face some of that stuff. You know what's going on. You don't need me to tell you that. But it's easier to pretend like it's not. And you're working so hard, and why isn't it coming off? No, you're not, right? You've got some stuff you gotta face. Got some stuff you need to face. It's time to work on that emotional side. Get a therapist. EMDR therapy is incredible. I highly recommend it. It's available very widely, and it will actually help heal these problems and just talk through them. Chalene Johnson, no, I probably wouldn't recommend her stuff. There's obviously, I can't think of anything right now, any books I'd recommend right now. I haven't really read too much on that subject. I've only done in-person therapy. But there's resources out there. There's hotlines. There's me. Like, there's stuff, if there's stuff going on that you're doing when no one can see you, like, that's why you're not losing the weight, right? So, and the final one, I had a couple more. A few more, but some of them don't really apply, I guess. But I'll probably leave it this last one with I'll give you two more. Another one that might be a problem is your ratios are a mess. Ratios are a mess, and it's all carbs, not enough protein, etc. If you're having that problem still, that's probably a situation that's going on. And then there's people who don't eat any carbs, right? That's also not very good for you. Your poor body needs some energy. So if you're somewhere in the awkward sides of too many carbs, too little carbs, you're shooting for those particular ratios. That's really important. And then finally, this is going to lead me into the challenge. You're still eating processed foods from restaurants, takeout, etc. So that's a big one because you have no freaking clue what's in that stuff. No clue. Extra butter here, extra fat over there, a lot of sodium, which is going to make you retain all the water, and now you're going to be all bloated, and then you're going to be mad about that. So those are just some reasons why you might not be losing weight at this juncture. I'm sure. I mean, I could go on. I could sit here for an hour and tell you all the things, and you would maybe find something that applied to you. But mostly, those that should cover it. So I told you guys last week that you didn't have to turn in a meal plan last week, which should have cued you to the fact that you do have to turn in a meal plan this week. And here's why. Because the week 4 challenge is cooking at home exclusively, which means you cannot go out, buy anything from anyone to ingest. Nothing. There'll be no Starbucks. There'll be no Subway. There will be no work dinners. There will be none of that. There will be no deli sandwiches. Absolutely not a single solitary eating out at all. So let me read you the challenge as posted, and then we'll talk about how that's going to, what that means to you. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. Where's that? It's bad, you guys. Always like, what's happening? There it is. Okay. Bring it over here. I can look at you. Okay. Week 4. It's cook at home week. One of the best ways to control your eating is to prepare all of your meals yourself. Eliminate all fast food, which hopefully actually happened in week 1. With the exception maybe a Subway here or something like that. And all other restaurant food. You may still eat from certain restaurants where you can be sure of the ingredients. There are some restaurants that there's such like a True Food here in San Diego where they literally list every ingredient on the menu, and it's all organic, sustainable, all natural, vegetarian, I think maybe even vegan stuff, like except for like they have their meat dishes, but a lot of it's vegetarian. And they're very clear. That would be something where you could literally go through your MyFitnessPal and choose, select, and put all those ingredients in and make a recipe. And the nutritional information is right there on the menu. Anyway, so as you may have seen in the news, restaurants tend to use alarming quantities of salt, among other things. This single step will often bring your body closer to homeostasis, its desired state of balance, alone. This can be hard for many of us because now we have to plan our meals, prepare ahead of time, but try to treat it like a vocational school. You don't learn a new job without a little training. So the focus is that fat is essential. Remember that fat is a vital part of your diet, not something that makes you fat. What is not vital is junk fat in processed foods. Healthy fats come from fish, nuts, seeds, avocados, olives, etc. Natural sources. You need to be careful about the amount of fat that you eat because it is very dense. At 9 calories per gram, it contains more than double the calories of carbs and protein. So people are always like, non-fat this and non-fat that, and you can actually screw up your thyroid by not eating fat. It's really interesting because the way that fat is a very slow-burning fuel. It's like very sustainable, slow-burning fuel, whereas carbs are like up and down, up and down, up and down, and protein somewhere in the middle right there. It helps control blood sugar, things like that. It's actually really good for you, and that's why I try to eat it in the morning, like avocados and eggs and things like that, because it will give you a nice slow burn throughout the day without any major crashes, so you don't get that 3 o'clock like. Really, really good for you. So, that's that. So I know some people have been a little fussy about their fat ratios, since we are only doing 20%, or is it 30%? Whatever it was. I'll have to look. I think it's 40-40-20. The 40-40-20 is fat shredder diet, which is meant to reduce fat in your body. But there are other ratios available to you depending on what kind of athletics you do. So we could talk about changing them a little bit. If you were an extreme athlete, things like that, you would actually end up eating more fat because athletes actually eat more fat than regular people. So it's just one of those things. Luckily, we're all pretty mainstream here. I mean, I read everyone's applications, and no one told me that they were, going for the Olympics this year. So I think we're okay. But we might talk about it if you were like an extreme athlete. We might tweak them around for this week just because of the focus. So that is the challenge and the focus. Now remember, everything else applies. Protein at every meal. Low density, colorful food at every meal. Eating small and eating often. No junk. These things are all applying, right? So we're coming up to our halfway mark at the end of week 4. So what I wanted to do is go over with you the posts and the contest. So excited. I love the contest. Which is funny because I don't actually like contests myself. Like, I could care less. But I like to give people prizes. I like to give presents. It's like a weird thing I have. Okay. So. All right. So for this week, the contest is going to be not only a cookbook, one of my favorite cookbooks, but also a set of cooking utensils so you can actually like cook, because I know a lot of us are just learning. Something else that I'll be doing for you this week, because it is Cook at Home week, is I will actually be making you some cooking videos throughout the week. I'm going to make, I think I've got 3 that I want to do that are my favorite meals, and my goal is to stick with easy meals that can be done quickly, and then I'm going to show you guys my quiche, my bulk quiche, for those of you who haven't made it yet, to show you how fast I literally make it. I'm going to make it in one video for you, like that. Like, it is the fastest thing that I make in bulk that I make for breakfast. So you can see how easy this can be. I might do a turkey chili as well. My only thing is I think my fiance might have made it already, so I don't want to make another one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm excited. I actually just got a really good coupon for Kohl's. 30% off. Yeah, love Kohl's. So I might even up the ante on the prize. It might even come with some pots and pans and stuff, because I'm going shopping for some of that stuff this week. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm thinking it's going to be, we're going to stick with the cookbook and the fun cooking utensils. And I will ask, of course, what color your kitchen is and things like that, if I have a choice, like if I have some options. So I'm really excited about that. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys, I've got 2 announcements for you. Now that I've given you all the reasons why you're terrible at losing weight and made you feel bad, sorry, and then told you have to go cook all your food, which terrifies you, I've got some good news. 2 things that I want to tell you. One is that, oh, I forgot one of them. Well, I'll just tell you the other one, and another one will come to me, I'm sure. First thing first is your assignment. You are making a meal plan. And you can use anything you want. You can use Excel. You can write it down on the fridge, on a calendar. You can sign up for the free Beachbody meal planner. It's free for a month, and then after that, it's $40 for the quarter. Where you like pick and choose. You know, I don't like shellfish. I don't eat dairy. Whatever. I like low carb. All the different stuff, and it makes the meal and the shopping list for you. You can do pretty much anything you want, but you're going to be turning in your meal plan. And how you're actually going to turn in your meal plan is you're going to take a picture of it with your phone, wherever it is. So if it's on your computer, you just, whatever. Or you can screenshot, save as JPEG. If you have those technical skills, that's totally fine too. And you're going to put your meal plan in the album. So if it's on your fridge, you just walk over to your fridge, take a picture. That's your picture of your meal plan. So I won't be critiquing your meal plans, but you are going to now have the experience of having a meal plan going forward, because you've got some shopping to do, because you're about to cook every single item that you have at home. And if it's just you, that's going to take some special finagling. And if it's you and 5 people, that's going to take some special finagling. Because you're going to have to go grocery shopping and figure out, okay, well, chicken's on sale. Then if we have this meal, this meal, and this meal, do all this. And try to make sure you're making the most of your money too, correct? Because we don't want to just spend money on food that goes bad. That's why people think healthy eating is expensive, because they throw away all their produce. They don't know what they're doing. They buy things that are out of season. They buy things that aren't on sale, and they can't figure out exactly where to start. And then stuff goes bad, you throw it away, and you're like, I spent so much money and I threw it away. We're not doing that in this group. So we're going to plan in advance, and you guys have 2 days and a night to plan your meals. So you're going to take your meal plan. That's due on Monday. It'll be meal plan Monday, but you'll be turning that in. And you're going to get 2 surprises. Well, I don't know if they're surprises. 2 fun things that I think are cool. One, I am going to upload for you all of the recipes from the Beachbody Ultimate Reset. All of them. All the breakfasts, all the lunch, all the dinners, and all the salad dressings, everything. Some of this food is mind-blowingly good, and it's all vegan. It's so good. I don't eat vegan, you guys know that, but it's incredible food if that's something that you're interested in doing, going vegan. Making your own salad dressings is incredible. There's so much fresher, and they're so good. The salads that you can make in advance, there's a jicama avocado salad in there with maple syrup. It's just amazing. There's a cabbage salad that'll blow your mind. Just love it. Love, love, love all this food. So good. A lot of it's really easy to make in bulk too. Some of the dinners are really easy to make in bulk. So you're going to try lots of new foods. And I'm going to give you a starting place because it's 21 days worth of food. I'm sure you can find 7 days worth of stuff in there, combined with my meal planner from last week, combined with my blog, combined with the extensive list of resources I provided you already of different blogs that I follow, that I get my recipes from. You should be good to go. And then the big announcement is that if you make it until past Tracking Tuesday, there is no longer a chance that you can be removed from the group. So if you've made it this far, you're in. And that's a surprise. I don't tell everybody that from the beginning because they think like, okay, like 8 weeks of this is gonna be crazy. But I need the people who are committed and serious and are in. And to me, if I can get you daily for 3 weeks and a couple of extra days, track your food, check in, you get a good partner, I feel comfortable that you can finish this challenge on your own. Not on your own, obviously I'm here, but you get the point. There will still be a roll call every day. I will roll call it, just so you have something to do, but I will not kick you out of the group for missing it. It's no longer a requirement for you. I don't like to leave partners orphaned, and I get way too attached to everybody by this point that there's no point. And if we get past 21 days, you're sort of in a habit. You're here, you know? And I don't want to punish you for making it a month in and then having a day where, you know, your grandma was in the hospital or something, right? When you're doing good with that kind of momentum, it's almost a negative thing to stop someone at that point to come out. So your tracking ends with the last Tracking Tuesday of next week. I urge you to still be an incredible partner and be an incredible member of the group so you can get the most out of this that you possibly can. But I really think that you guys are on your way. And let's be real, if we don't learn to do it now without someone watching over us, what are you going to do a month from now when I'm not there at all? So the group does get a little bit more free. And now a lot of the stuff that we're going to learn is a lot of life skills that you're going to take on without me. So you can take this stuff and keep going. So we're going to do some meal planning like this week. And we're going to learn a little bit about, you know, creating our own diets and what are our ratios? What do we like? How does our body feel? Things like that. So it really now is going to become about listening to you and making this work for you. So I'm super excited. I love this week because this brings out like all the oh crap and I didn't want to have to do that. I don't know how. And you're about to face some fears this week, but after Meal Plan Monday and Tracking Tuesday, it's going to get a little bit easier in here, a little bit less stress. Maybe I can help your cortisol levels a little bit. And that's pretty much it. So that's all I have for this week. Make sure you guys are reading your book. Do not start slacking on that. Read your book. I will post another book question tomorrow or maybe even tonight. I do expect you guys to be keeping up with all those assignments in the back. That book can be life-changing. The whole group can be life-changing if you focus, if you give it the energy that it needs. All right? So you guys are doing amazing. Keep up the great work. And of course, as always, I will see you on Facebook.